going to start 8051 microcontroller module 5, right? This module 5, right? 8051 microcontroller, right? So microcontroller is actually designed for some control application, right? Control application, right? Like monitoring the input, monitoring physical parameters, and controlling them. Monitoring and controlling, we can write. Monitoring and controlling physical parameters. Right, so what is monitoring of physical parameter and its control part? So let us take an example of, say, temperature. Suppose in this chamber, we have to monitor temperature. How much is the temperature inside this? And if temperature exceeds certain limit, then we have to do some control action to bring it down the temperature level below the required set point, right? Suppose we want temperature inside this chamber has to be, say, 30 degree centigrade, and so it is our set point. We want temperature has to be maintained, temperature inside this chamber has to be, say, 30 degree. Now for temperature is a physical parameter, right? Now this microprocessor or microcontroller is going to understand this temperature in terms of digital data, right? So if we have, say, 8-bit MIPI or 8-bit microcontroller, then this temperature has to be converted in terms of 8-bit digital data, right? 8-bit digital data. So for 8-bit digital data, you need what? You need ADC, which will produce 8-bit digital data, right? And input to this is analog, right? And to convert this temperature to its corresponding analog voltage, you need temperature sensor, right? So temperature sensor will convert this temperature, right, to analog voltage. Then analog voltage will be converted to digital data between 00 to FFH, right? Suppose 30 degrees centigrade corresponds to a digital data produced by this 8-bit ADC is, say, 30 is how much? Okay, let us make it 32 degrees centigrade. 32 degrees centigrade, and let us map it 1:1, say 32 corresponding to what? 20 of hex, no? Hello? 32 in decimal, right, is corresponding to what? 20H of this. So now here we have memory, right? In this memory at, say, 2400H, we have 20H. I will write here properly. So in this memory, we have already feed at 2400H, we have 20H, which is the set point, right? Which is the set point. Now here we have microprocessor. Microprocessor will be interfaced with memory, right? And how it will be interfaced with ADC? You need 8255 for this, right? 8255 has got so many registers, and registers has got external pins. So port A register is suppose connected to this 8-bit ADC output D0 to D7. So PA0 to PA7, right? So you need 8255 port. Next, if you need to monitor this temperature, say at every hour, then you need to another timer circuit you need, right? 8253, where you will set the timer based on the clock, right? Of say 1 Hertz clock is applied over here, and based on the put here say 3600, right? This clock or this timer will generate interrupt signal at regular interval of 1 hour. Right? So whenever this 8253 timer generates an interrupt for the processor at every hour means it has to be in rate generator mode, right? Rate generator mode of 1 hour, right? And of course, output of this has to be inverted, and then it will be applied to hardware interrupt pin of 8085, right? 8085. So now this ADC input, right? Data will be inputted via this, right? So suppose port A address is say ATH. So in ATH, right, this temperature data will be in the accumulator. A will be XX, temperature data. Then it will be, right, move to some register, say move B comma A, right? Then you will load what? This set point. How much is this set point? LDA 2400H. So A will be now 20H. Now you will do what? Compare B, right? You will compare the set point with this B register content, which is XX, which is produced by this ADC based on this temperature. Now, for generating the start of conversion, end of conversion, all these things, right? Separate pins of this port C pins, say PC7 and say PC0 will be used for say EOC, SOC. Now, after comparing with the set point, based on the result, either it will be XX will be greater than 20H or XX will be less than 20H. Based on this, you have to generate the control signal. And what type of control signal will be generated? Either you will make some port pin, say PB0 plus 5 volt. If you make, then this plus 5 volt can be used for turning on some relays or energizing some relays operated with 12 volt, right? This plus 5 volt, PB0, right? And when this relay is energized, so many contacts are going to build up. Some contacts are normally open, some contacts are normally closed. Normally closed contacts, some contacts will be normally closed, right? And these contacts will build up. So when this relay coil is energized, what will happen? This normally open contact will become closed, and this normally closed contact becomes open. Becomes open like this. So this normally closed contact can be used to turn off the heater. And normally open contact can be used for turning on the fan. For turn on the fan, right? So simply by making PB0 equal to plus 5 volt using this normally open contact, you can, this will become closed, so fan will start running. This will become open, so right now I will tell you how it will be connected. So this is normally open contact. So here we have heater, right? And here we have connected fan, right? And these two are connected to power supply. So if Xx is greater than 20H, means temperature is more than 32 degrees centigrade, then heater has to be turned off, right? So normally close contact is connected to heater. So heater is having current and it is generating heat, right? So temperature will rise, and moment temperature exceeds 32 degrees centigrade, then right, Xx will be greater than 20H. So you have to generate plus 5 volts. So what will happen? This relay coil will be energized and this contact will become open. So current is not going to reach to heater coil, while this normally open contact will become closed. So current fan will start. Right. So this type of monitoring and control application you need. Right. That time you need a processor, you need memory, right? RAM, you need ROM also. Then you need timer also. You need IO ports. And of course, you need ADC, sensor, etc. Right? So for these type of application, right, this 8085 processor of say 40-pin chip, right, 40-pin chip was actually modified, you can say, modified in this way, right? So whatever is the CPU part of 8085, CPU part of the 8085, like CPU part of the 8085 is actually implemented in one part of the chip, CPU, right? Then some more parts like this IO ports. IO ports are having nothing but registers only, no, with pins available, right? So in fact, with this, say around 128 byte RAM was added. 128 byte RAM was added inside the chip itself. So CPU processor is there. Along with that, 128 byte RAM is added. Okay, in last class we discussed also that means inside CPU we have control ROM. So there means technology was there to implement the ROM inside also chip. So then 2K ROM was also added for storing the monitor program. And this 128 byte RAM actually used for storing a small user program, because program for inputting the analog means that sensor data to the processor and comparing it with corresponding set point and generating a control action, right, at a particular port pin, right. This type of program hardly takes around, right, 20 to say 40 bytes maximum, right, in case of 8085. But here microcontroller instructions are also modified so that, in fact, these 40 byte instructions are also instructions are modified so that instructions are more control oriented. Like a single instruction can be used for, say, decrementing the count and branching, right. Earlier we were doing that DCRC, and then we were taking what, JNZ loop, no? Now here, now this type of instructions are there: decrement, JNZ, decrement, and jump if not 0, and we write the register name over here. So a typical register, like here C register is decremented, then flags are being checked. Here in a single instruction, register is being decremented, a typical register is being decremented, and 0 flag is being checked. So this way, right, that number of instructions will be very, very less for this type of program, a small program, right? So 128 byte will be enough for storing your small control oriented program inside the chip itself, right? Now, if you have ROM and RAM inbuilt, then no need to have AD087, A8 to A15, because these are actually used for what purpose? For sending the address only. Forget about receiving the data. For sending the address only, you need 16-bit pins, 16 pins you need, right? So these 16 pins can be used for IO ports now. So now I am doing this. So a 8-bit register, right, can be connected like this, right? So it is called port 0. Then right, port 1. Port 1. Now, if you are not using AD087, A8 to A15, then you do not need ALE, you do not need read var, you do not need write var, you do not need IOM bar also, right? And since this chip is inbuilt, everything is inbuilt, and it is capable of executing the program from internal memory, right? And generating all these things, control signals via these IO ports now. So, and it is not connected with other processor or microcontroller. So S0, S1, IOM bar. So these pins you do not need, no? Right. And for interrupt pin like RST 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, trap, INTR, high hardware interrupts were there in 8085. So in fact, number of interrupts were reduced, and right, these are being used as port 2. So this way it was developed, right? So this is port 0, port 1, port 2. Similarly, port 3 was also there. Port 3 is also there of 8-bit. Port 3. So 4 registers. So 4 IO ports you can have. So 32 pins will be used as IO ports only. If our program is very small, which is fitting inside this 128-byte RAM, right? Then all these 32 pins you can use as IO ports, right? Next, for timer, right? Two 16-bit timers you can add by simply adding these type of registers. Two 16-bit timers we are there, right? T0, T1. So this will be T0L, T0H, T1L, T1H. Two 16-bit timers are there. This is 8-bit. This is 8-bit. So 16-bit count you can load. This is also 8-bit. This is also 8-bit. So 16-bit count you can load. Right. And for deciding the modes of operation of these, right, timers, you can have what? Timer control register also. Timer control register also. Similarly, for serial inputting, outputting, also you will have serial control register, right? Serial control register. So this way, like rim sim, we are there, no? So similarly, serial control register, timer control registers will be there. Now, since all these registers are inside this chip itself, right? And earlier, actually, we were using accumulator, no, as a special register where result of arithmetic and logical operation were stored, right? Like if you write, say, add B. So what will happen? A plus B will be done and result was stored in A. Now here, in fact, all these registers like this port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3, or even this 128-byte RAM can be used as register, general purpose register. And suppose if you write add A comma R0, in this case A plus R0 will be done and result will be stored in R0, right? Now if you write, result will be stored in accumulator, sorry. Now if you write, say, add R0 comma A, then again A plus R0 will be done, but result will be stored in R0. So this type of modification was made and a microcontroller was developed, right? So now I will go to pin diagram of 8051 microcontroller. Hello? Hello? Is these points are clear, whatever I am saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now I will take 8051 microcontroller pin diagram. So from where I will take? I will take from this. Let us see what is this. 8051. I am copying this image and pasting it over here. But it will be difficult for me now. So I am saving this. It will not come. So it will push this one down. I'll put here in. E and D. I'll go up and here I'll paste. So here you can see this 8051 microcontroller, right? Pin diagram is there. So inside this 8051, we have CPU, right? We have RAM, we have ROM, and very important, IO ports are there. You can see all pins are there, IO ports are there. So here we have 8-bit register, port 0. Here we have another 8-bit register, port 2, and this is port 3 register, and this is port 1 register, right? So you can see all pins are engaged, no? So one pin is used for VCC. Of course, this is used for ground. This will be used for clock input, no? Clock input is there. And this clock is around 11.085 megahertz. Very high frequency. So processing speed is going to be very fast. Okay. Now for resetting the microcontroller, you have one pin. So it is active high. You can see earlier we were having what? Active low reset pin in 8085. So here it is active high reset pin. So here you can connect plus 5 volt for resetting the microcontroller. So whenever you will reset the microcontroller, it will execute its monitor program from control ROM, from this ROM, and then it will be ready for operation. Right. Next, how many pins are left? So 1, 2 are used for clock, ground, and this VCC is 4, and this RST reset is 5th pin. Then remaining 3 pins are these. Remaining 3 pins are these. One is external access, right? Suppose our program is large, means it is not fitting inside 128 byte RAM. Then you have to use external memory, right? So external RAM you will have to use. So you need to send the address in that case, right? And in that case, this port 0 pins will be used as AD0 to AD7. You can see. So here you will have latch, and this ALE pin will be used for this purpose, for demultiplexing. And it will produce what? A0 to A7. And this will be used as A8 to A15. You can see A8 to A15. So 16-bit address you can send, right? But for reading the program from external RAM and executing them, this external access has to be connected to what? 0 volt. External access pin has to be connected to 0 volt. Otherwise, if you connect this pin to plus 5 volt, right, 8051 will understand that it has to execute the program from internal RAM only. So that time you can use these port pins as simple inputting, outputting purpose. Okay. But when you have to use the external RAM or external ROM, even external ROM we can use. ROM means in this ROM you will write your control program for inputting the physical parameters via ports and generating the control signal via ports. In this external ROM you can write that control program, and then microcontroller will continuously read your program from control ROM, and it will keep on executing this external ROM, and it will keep on executing your control program for controlling the parameters. Or you can have your control program in the RAM, and from there processor will fetch the instruction, this microcontroller will fetch the instructions, and then it will execute them, and it will generate the control action. Of course, that time if it is fetching the instruction from external memory, then you need so many pins, no? AD0, AD7, A8 to A15, then you need read bar, then you need write bar, read bar, write bar you need, and if you want to interrupt the processor, then you have two interrupt pin, INT0 and you have to interrupt the microcontroller, then you have two interrupt pins, INT0 and INT1, like RST 7.5, RST, two interrupt hardware pins are there, and two timer output pins are also there. Two timer output pins are also there, like out 0 and out 1, So in fact, inside this we'll have timer registers are there, no? TL0, TH0, there you can feed your count value, and internal clock will be used for decrementing those count value, and when terminal count will reach that time, these timer outputs will change. Okay, and these timers will be used for interrupting the microcontroller for inputting something. Anyway, so what is the function of these pins are clear? I will start one by one now. All pins I will discuss. Of course, VCC pin, you are familiar. What is the purpose of VCC pin? You need to connect +5 volt over here and ground over here. So whatever circuitry is there inside this chip, like whatever transistors are there, all those transistors needs to be biased properly, either in cutoff or saturation region. So for that purpose we use this. This clock also we need, external clock. It is 11.085 megahertz, very high clock. Next, 4 IO ports, P0.0 to P0.7, P1.0 to P1.7, P2.0 to P2.7, then P3.7 to P3.0 to P3.7. So these 32 pins either can be used as IO ports, or when it is, this one is connected to 0 volt, external access pin is connected to 0 volt, then this port 0 will be used as AD0, AD7 multiplex address data bus, and it will be used at A to A15, higher order address, Then port 3 pins, of course, port 0, port 2 and port 3 are having dual function, AD0, AD7 or simple port pin, A to A15 or simple port pins like this. P0.3.0 to P3.7 simple port pins, or For receiving data serially, this pin will be used. For transmitting data serially, this pin will be used. For receiving the interrupt, hardware interrupt, these two pins will be used, right? For generating the timer outputs, these two pins will be utilized, right? For sending write bar signal, P3.6 will be used. For sending read bar signal, P3.7 will be used, right? This pin number 9 will be used for resetting the microcontroller. External access, if this pin is connected to 0 volt, then microcontroller is going to access the external memory, right? That time this pin will be used for sending the address latch enable signal, ALE, like this, during whenever address is outed. Whenever address is outed via port 0 and port 2 pin, that time this ALE will be used for demultiplexing this address and data lines, right, into A0 to A7 and D0 to D7 pins. Okay. Next, when this one is connected to +5, then this will be right, microcontroller will right execute its instruction from internal memory. No need to discuss further. Then this pin is PSEN bar. What is this? PSEN bar. It is active loop. This PSEN bar is used whenever external access memory is accessed, right? So now you can see over here. Your RAM will be this. RAM you can connect 64K, and here you will have 16-bit address, no? A0 to A15. ROM also you can connect of 64K. Maximum 64K, and you can send the address A0 to A15. Right? Now, this PSEN bar, if this is 0, suppose address is outage 2000H, so it will go to both 2000H, both RAM and ROM chip. But if PSEN bar is 0, it means data will be read from this external ROM. Right? This is called program store enable. Right? Already a program is stored inside this ROM that will be read. Right? Now, if this is 1, it means user has written some program on this RAM, and that has to be fetched and it will be executed by the microcontroller. So now you can see very easily by extending one pin PSEN bar over here, external memory expandability has increased to how much? 128 KB. 128 KB. Even address is of 16-bit. Address is of 16-bit. Address is of 16-bit. Now, right here, address will be of 16-bit. Here, address will be of 16-bit. Now, if processor is executing from internal RAM, which is of 128 byte, how many bit address is needed to access a 128 byte RAM? Anyone? How many bit address it is needed? (128 byte RAM. Quickly. Hello? Hello? Nobody is responding. Suppose we have a 128 byte RAM. How many bit address is needed in order to address all these pins, all these bytes? How many bit address?
7.
128 byte RAM. How many bit address we need? How many bit? 7. 2 to the power 7. गजब है भाई, आप लोग कुछ फॉलो ही नहीं कर रहे हैं इसका मतलब. हेलो, 67 student out of 120. So if it is a 124 byte RAM in 8255, how many bit address were there? A0, A1 only. 2 to the power 2, 4. So this way we have how many? 128 byte RAM. So 2 to the power 7. Right, 2 to the power 7. But along with this, you have these port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3, and these port addresses will be also there. Right, you will have all registers like accumulator. Right, like accumulator will also have some address. Right, timer registers will also have address. Right, all are connected with internal data bus, no? And timer control register for controlling the mode, timer, right? Even flag register is also needed, no? Flag register is also needed. So flag register will also have some address. So 128 byte RAM, and you will have so many special function registers like accumulator, flag register, port register, right? All these registers, special function register, will have some address, right? So for accessing internal RAM and these special function registers, right, you will have address between 00 to FFH. So 8-bit address you need. Right. Control ROM is of 2K. Sorry, ROM is a microcontroller is of 2K. 2K ROM is there. So suppose microcontroller is reading something from this ROM. How many bit it has to address? It has to generate for 2K ROM. For 256, 8, 5, it will be 9, 1, 0, 2, 8, it will be 10, 2, 0, 4, 8, it will be 11 bit address. Right? Now we have 3 addresses, no? 8-bit address, right, 11-bit address, and 16-bit address. Right. So jump instruction will be of 3 types. right? Small jump, absolute jump, and long jump, like branch instruction, right? Small jump, absolute jump, and long jump. In small jump, right, 8-bit address will be there. Here it will be 11-bit address. Here it will be 16-bit address. Why these three type of jump? To reduce the number of byte, no? Number of byte will be less if you are using a small jump instruction. So in that case, jump will be inside this 128-byte RAM only. Right? Microcontroller program counter will branch in this area only. Right? Now let us write the features of 8051. You tell me one by one. Features of 8051 microcontroller. First feature. Hello? Clock speed 11.085 megahertz, very high. Second feature, 4 8-bit IO ports. Third feature, 2 16-bit timers. Fourth feature, serial IO, right, at typical baud rate. Right? Earlier in 8051, you have to use RIM for reading the data serially bit by bit. Bit by bit, rotating them, right? ORing, ANDing, and then finally you are doing what? Right? Accumulating these serial inputs in a register like D0, D7, then you are storing these to a memory location. Now here, right, if you are inputting data in microcontroller, right, in fact it has got serial buffer registers, and data from say RxD pin will come into this serial buffer register, and moment 8-bit are received at typical baud rate, you have to do the programming, right? So suppose you have put say 2800 kbps, right? kbps. So at that rate it will come, it will receive, and moment 8-bit are received, no, a flag will be generated, and microcontroller will understand that 8-bit has received, so it will be transferred to memory. Similarly, for transmitting data via TXD pin, microcontroller has to put a byte on the serial buffer register, and from here automatically either MS bit first or LS bit first will be outed at typical baud rate, and external device will receive data serially from microcontroller, right? So much features we are added. So serial IO, then 128 byte RAM, sixth feature 2K ROM, seventh feature, हेलो, आप लोग कुछ पढ़े भी हैं जी माइक्रो कंट्रोलर के बारे में? Any feature you know of this 8051 microcontroller? MUL and div feature is added, right? Two registers A and B are there inside 8051. If you write MUL A comma B, what exactly it is going to do? It will produce the A multiplied by B, right? And result will be of how many bit? This is 8 bit. This is also of 8 bit. So if you multiply 8 bit by 8 bit, how much will the result? Hello? If you multiply 8 bit by 8 bit, how many bit result will be there? अरे भाई आप लोग रिस्पॉन्ड क्यों नहीं करते हैं? 16-bit result will be produced, no? Over here, right? So higher order byte of the result will be stored in B, and lower order byte result will be stored in A, right? By writing a single instruction. Imagine in 8085 how much lengthy program we used to write for multiplying a byte by another byte. You have to keep on adding, right? Then you have to take care of carry. All those things you have to do. But here, see how much it was modified. Simply write one instruction and A into B will be produced and result will be there. Lower byte will be in A and upper byte will be in B. No need to worry. Similarly, div feature is also there. If you write div AB, right, A by B will be done, right? Remainder will be in accumulator and your quotient will be in B register. Eighth feature is bit addressable RAM. Very, very important. Right? With this feature, actually, PLC were developed. You know what is PLC? PLC stands for Programmable Logic Controller. Right? PLC actually take care about the automation of entire process industry. Anyway, in next class, I will continue with these features. Right. So 8 features we have discussed. 9th one, I'll put this special function registers will be there. So many special functions registers, timer control, serial control, power control, registers are there. Port registers P0, P1, P2, P3, right? Interrupt control. Interrupt priority register is there. Flag register is there. A register is there. B register is there. Program counter, stack pointer, all these are special function registers. Of course, this A, B, PSW, right? This program counter, stack pointer was there in 8085 also, right? So many special function registers are there inside this 8051, and using those special function register, you can transmit data serially, you can receive data serially at typical baud rate, right? Even for interrupt control, priority you can set, right? Timer registers are there for say checking the overflow and all. So many features are there. Anyway, next class I will continue with this. And today all of you are free at 11 o'clock. Respond. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I am ending this meeting now.